It is on. I don't know what layer it is on, but hello, welcome to another episode of the DrawBizzle. The DrawBizzle. That's what I'm calling
Welcome.
Welcome
I like.
indeed.
We were doing the famous classic bit of which layer is it on?
Which layer? Whose layer is it in anyways?
Who's on? Similar to the who's on first.
It's pretty much the same bit. We just stole it from Abbott and Costello, but we changed the word to Leia. Whose Leia is this on?
We're modernizing it, you know?
Yeah, we took it. We made it for the Zoomer generation. Welcome to DrawBomb. It's another episode of this amazing show. This behemoth, we can almost say, once we hit 100.
Speaking of which, Leviathan Den has drawn attention to it in the chat. Says, "Holy shit, one more episode till 100." That's right. That is correct.
That is correct. We are almost at a hundo. Almost at a full hundy. But we're not quite there yet. We're getting there, though. We've been making plans for such the episode, but we don't have anything formulated or finalized yet. Things have been falling through. Yeah.
We'll come up with something. It'll be fine. But yeah, that's like about
a week away.
Worth of shows.
Just about 2 years worth of shows. It's longer for us because we've missed weeks, so it's technically
right. We've been doing it for more than 2 years, but
yeah.
I'm just saying, as far as like a pile of content goes.
Yeah, 2 years would technically be 104, I guess.
Okay.
This isn't 50. It's 52 weeks in a year.
Yeah.
104.
Yeah,
but
right.
it's still 100. 100 is still a big ass number. So like we're syndicated. We're syndicated.
That's right. Now people can't say, people have to take us seriously now.
They have to like respect us, and if they don't, I'll kill them.
Gosh.
We're almost there. Once we hit 100 episodes, I'm gonna ask you how you feel about the show. We haven't ever talked about how we actually feel about the show beforehand.
We can reflect.
I'll ask you.
We did the reflection episode.
The reflection. We'll talk about how far we've come in all that time.
Cool. That sounds great.
Yeah. How have you been this past week that we have not been streaming this show, which is every other day but Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time?
What's that little plug? I've been great. Busy, but you know, I don't know. Just been working and saw some family. And
nice.
Playing a lot of Elden Ring. So, you know, in that sense, I'm being abused over and over.
You've entered into an abusive relationship.
Exactly. I'm still at the part where you still like it though. You don't realize the damage it's doing.
The red flags still seem like little things,
but
but like overall the cuteness is still like there, and you're like, oh, but like they still do this.
Right, exactly. I'm blinded by love at the moment. We also got Bell Rocket in the chat, says, hello. And Z Newts is here as well, says, my beautiful draw boys. It's us.
It's us indeed.
We're glowing.
We're shining, shimmering lights of beacon in the darkness.
How's your week been, Ian?
I should have gotten a beer. It's been alright. I can't really complain.
This is just a mango LaCroix.
Oh.
So.
That's
not the same.
well, I mean, still. I thought about like, oh, I should have a beer. But week's not been bad. I can't complain. Just it's this. The thing is, like the past 2 years, aside from what's going on in the outside world, which is, you know, I just choose not to talk about on this show because like, ugh. You know,
it was meant to be an escape from that.
Yeah, but what's going on in my life personally for like the past 2 years has been largely the same and unchanged. So, you know, can't complain. Just been chilling. That's about it. Lots of Elden Ring too. Lots of other games. Lots of everything.
Yeah, you've been streaming a lot of Doom. Did you beat that one level that you spent 4 hours on the other night?
I did indeed beat it. Do you know what the secret was to beating the level? not dying, first of all, but yeah, there was like a hidden passageway that I had to, like, first of all, I just gave up on the one run, and I was like, alright, let me jump down into this lava and run around in it and see what I can find. When I was down there, I found a secret passageway that led to an area that I knew existed, because I could see it, but I never knew how to get to it, which made doing the level 100 times easier. So
going off the beaten path was the secret.
Exactly right. 1 second,
Metaphor
please.
for life, you know. You gotta jump down into that lava if you want to find the secret pathway. You know, a lot of teaching moments in Doom.
That you can learn so many lessons from video games, just like how you can learn a lesson from Elden Ring about red flags, but also patience. Dark Souls and Elden Ring are games that will teach you patience and how to be very zen, because by the 800th time you die, you better be fucking zen and patient about it, or else you're in for a bad time.
Leviathan Den says, I believe your videos are stuck. Nope, we're just very still. But no, you are correct.
We're being super, yeah, it's just annoying. It's this annoying thing that Discord apparently does. But we're back. Hello, hi. Well, you know what's crazy? This is the thing that, Elden Ring is a very tough game. And it's so tough that...
I was looking at your screen. I know a lot of people in the chat right now. In fact, I think all of them are also playing. Most of them, at least.
Are playing Elden
People
Ring
have sounded
as well.
off. But Ian, I want to ask, what's your opinion of the game so far?
God, it's hard to say. I like it. Here's the thing. Right now, it feels like Dark Souls, but with better controls. But I haven't gotten very far in it. So I can't say a whole lot about how it stacks up either against Dark Souls or just like what is available in the game world, because I just haven't seen all of it. So like basically all I can say is like, it's Dark Souls. I love Dark Souls. I love the way Dark Souls plays. I don't know what's in store for me yet. So I can't, and that's gonna really be what, you know, like the gameplay itself is solid. It's just a matter of what the game I get to do with that gameplay, and I don't know yet.
You're one of them Dark Souls purists.
I'm a Dark Souls fan, so I'm just like, I already like the game because Dark Souls, like, it has Dark Souls gameplay, and Dark Souls gameplay is phenomenal. So I like it. But like how much I like it it's gonna depend on like what the game has in store for me. So that's all I can really say about it right now, is I just have a lot of exploring to do. How about you? How do you feel about Elden Ring so far?
So I'm like the complete opposite of you. So I've never really played any Souls games, actually. I mean, I've put like a couple of hours into like Dark Souls 1, but not enough to have like a real opinion.
You're right.
So as a fresh baby going in,
Fresh baby man.
I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm really, I really love like an open world that you can get like immersed in, and this game does a really good job of feeling that way. Like it does. It's the opposite of holding your hand. It basically just like boots you out the door and it's like good luck. And I enjoy that. So like it feels validating to stumble upon something interesting in the world.
It is, yeah.
You really like tracked it down yourself instead of like followed an arrow to it.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like so many games are very waypointy, where it's like we have an arrow pointing like a fucking homing beacon directly onto whatever it is you're looking for. And like that's fine because it really makes things a lot like you don't get lost. I've never been like frustrated at Skyrim because I'm always like, I know exactly where I need to go. I don't even know what I'm doing. I just know I need to go here. But it ruins the immersion, and sort of there's something like, so Skyrim has an arrow on you all the time. And then, but like there's one game that they came out with like 2 years or 2 iterations before that, Morrowind, there's no arrow. You have to like pay attention to like what the quest like in it, like you have a journal, so your guy like puts the relevant information in his journal, so you have to like look at your journal and actually read it and then like put the directions together and like find the place that you're trying to go and like who you're trying to talk to, like with just like the clues you're given. And it's very rewarding to like travel to like this weird distant land and then be like, oh hey, I found blah 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 blah. I did it with it all by myself. And Elden Ring is very much like, we don't have a giant waypoint. Like they've done it in a way, like they still have like quality of life things. So it's not as obscure as Dark Souls. Sometimes in Dark Souls you're just like, what the fuck do I do now? But in this game it's at least got like some very, very subtle things in it that show you like maybe where you need to go, things like that. But
one of those things that sounded intimidating to me, and then now that I'm experiencing it, I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Yeah,
because like Skyrim gives you this big open world to explore, but it's got fucking arrows pointing at everything in it, so it's like it kind of ruined like you can still like check out small caves and like on the side and stuff like that, and like that's still a lot of fun. That's the most fun to it because you're actually doing some legit exploring. So you know, Skyrim's main story though, and any of its quests didn't have that sense of like exploration and wonder because it was just you know, you didn't have that Elden Ring experience where you just like you sort of find it yourself or you stumble upon it by accident.
That is true.
It is true.
And as Zenut says, it's got like 80 bosses in it. Correct. It does. Probably more, honestly.
I would not be surprised. The original Dark Souls had 160 different enemy, like common sort of enemy variation types.
I feel like I've already seen, I don't know, like 20, and I have not left the first area, so.
That's a lot of bosses.
So we'll see, but I'm enjoying it so far.
Yeah, so far so good. FromSoft, you did it again. They don't miss. I can't think of a single game that people did not like from FromSoft.
Might have to go back and play some of the other ones now.
Oh yeah, you should.
Once I'm done with this.
Oh yeah, you should. Now you'll be like, you'll just trounce those games because you'll have had the practice. You'll be like, ready. I know what you have in store for me.
You've said that it's much easier.
I don't know if it is yet. I can't say for certain.
Okay.
I think they've made some quality of life things that make life in the game easier for you, but like it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be an easier game. Okay. I can't say for certain. Like Dark Souls has like some stuff in it, and I don't know if this game isn't like this either. Like it could be. Like I said, I've only you are much more in depth in the game than I am, but there's a lot of things in Dark Souls where it's like you basically have to check the wiki to find out about it because there's just like so much like very subtle or like hidden stuff that you can like completely overlook in Dark Souls. And I'm curious, like, how much of that, like, and that's, like, the stuff that we're gonna have to, like, wait for people to find before we can really get, like, a good grasp on, like, how much of that is in this game as well.
There's a lot of people lying about secret doorways.
Yeah.
I haven't actually found one yet.
I've not found a single secret door. In Demon Souls, the very first secret door you find, it's very obvious that it's a secret door. But, then it like makes you think like, oh shit, I gotta be looking back for all these secret doors. And some of them are not, like, some of them are like a wiggly line, like wall, and some of them aren't.
Just a wiggly wall.
Just a wiggly wall.
You chop that wiggly wall?
You chop that wiggly wall. So aside from Elden Ring, is there anything else you've been playing?
Not really. A little bit of Lost Ark here and there.
Oh, right, yeah.
But no, I mean, when did the game come out? It came out Friday?
Yeah, I want to say Friday. Sounds about right.
That's pretty much what I've been playing since it came out when I have free time.
Oh yeah, we were talking about earlier. I've been playing Doom.
Yes.
I finally beat Doom 2.
You did?
Yeah.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. I am not pistol starting any more of those fucking levels. I'm done with that. Not doing it, man.
You did it though with this game, so
I did.
Stuck to it.
I watched a video. So like this guy Civ11, he makes YouTube videos about lot of boomer shooters, but also just like video games in general. I enjoy his content. But he does a series called Pro Doom, where he just plays through the Doom games, and he calls it Pro because he's very fucking good at these games. And so I watched that series again because I just did it, and I'm like, ah. And I saw that he also played like by the same rules I did, including the pistol starts if you die. Now he's much better at the game, I noticed, than I am. He did not pistol start nearly as much as I had to. But he also didn't do that. Like, there's like 4 episodes, like 4 chapters in the first Doom game, and he didn't pistol start if he died the 4th one, and I did. So, I'm a little bit more hardcore than he is.
Wow. Put it on the record,
Ian says, "Suck shit, Civvy 11."
Suck shit. Wow.
That's right. Wow.
Wow.
Have you seen any movies lately?
No. I have not.
Have you been sitting in like a paper bag for the whole week? Do you just like come home from work and you like put a paper bag over your head and
yes, and then
sit in the corner? Yeah.
As I've said many times, every time we finish an episode, I just sit and waiting for the show to start again a week later.
Yeah.
No, I've just been working a lot, honestly. Like my day job's been exceptionally busy lately.
That's fair. You actually leave the house. I don't.
I do, but only because they make me.
Oh, okay. Someday they'll start making me. No movies, no nothing. Didn't we watch a terrible movie on Bad Movie Night? Oh yeah, we didn't even watch it. We barely paid attention to that.
I don't remember what it was called.
It was called like The Dark Slithering or something like that, or the Dark Creeping, I think it was called. It was bad.
That's funny. That name seems like it has nothing to do with anything.
Mm-hmm. It was about zombies. Oh, it's called The Dark Stalking, I think.
So these zombies, they stalked. They were like.
They stalked, and it was in the
stealthy.
dark. The entire movie looked like it was shot in like somebody's air duct. Like, it looked like somebody had basically made a 5-foot long tunnel out of garbage bags, and then they shot the whole movie in that.
It's true. It did look like that. But yeah, we didn't really pay attention too much.
No, we were too busy playing Sea of Thieves.
That's right. That was much more entertaining to me.
Yeah, I agree. And a bad movie. Go figure.
I mean, some bad movies are entertaining, but not the dark slithering.
Yeah.
Stuff.
That's why bad movies are great to work on art for, like, during, because, like, if they're bad, and it's, like, funny bad, you'll know. You can hear when a movie is being so bad it's funny. Or if it's not, like, you'll kind of keep an eye on the movie. But, like, for the most part, if it's a bad movie, you can just, like, completely tune it out for, like...
Still get your work done.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been meaning to watch. I think the next one on the docket is Batman
and Robin, I believe, is the last one.
Okay, yeah, that
of
is
the
what it's
series.
called.
Yeah, because you weren't here for it, but we watched Batman Forever. Did we talk about that in the last episode? I want to say we
I don't think we
did.
talked about it. Oh, yeah, okay, because I was saying it was Val Kilmer, and then I made you guys watch The Kiss from the Rose.
Yes, that's right. Okay, perfect. I'm so glad we didn't rehash this conversation. I mean, I'd be okay with, like, if we were just talking to each other, it'd be fine with rehashing it, but on a show, it feels a little goofy.
For the people at home.
That's right. They came for fresh content on the weekly.
Boy, they're getting it.
This is worthwhile stuff, folks. Worthwhile stuff. So yeah, Batman and Robin, which it's so weird that they had Michael Keaton, and then they lost. So I guess
I might be able to answer some questions. You seem a little mixed up about.
I'm learning now. I've been learning.
I've watched all these movies a lot as a kid.
I didn't know that these were supposed to be.
Batmans.
I didn't realize that these were supposed to be the same Batman from the Tim Burton one. I thought the Tim Burton Batmans were just like those were their own thing, and then it was these
kind of reboots. They don't really like reference things that happened previously.
That's true. They don't. They don't at all. But like, they kind of do. Isn't Alfred the same guy?
No.
No.
Is he? He might be. There's some carryover characters in some of the films.
There is so much like the vaguest of carryover. Like the thing is, I remember there was a scene in Batman Forever where they sort of made a reference to something that happened in the like they made a reference that like sort of set the tone that the movie took place after the Michael Keaton Batmans, and I was like, oh, okay, so these are in the same universe. I don't remember exactly what it was that like confirmed that, but I remember like that happening. But they're like way goofier. Like they're a completely different vibe.
So Batman 1, I'll call it, took itself pretty seriously.
Yeah.
That was Tim Burton, Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson.
Correct.
It's pretty solid. I like that one still.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Took itself fairly seriously. Then I think somewhere in there before Batman 2 came out, I know that's not what they're called, but just for the sake of keeping track of things, I think Tim Burton started to Tim Burton it up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because the second one's got Danny DeVito as Penguin. I think Catwoman, played by...
I think you're right, yeah.
Is it Michelle Pfeiffer? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think it's... no, it's Michelle Pfeiffer, you're correct.
And that one starts to get a little goofier. Still kind of... And it's Michael Keaton again. And it still has the same kind of like... kind of same energy as the previous one. Same director, but it just... At least with the design, stuff starts to get a little more cartoony.
Yeah.
And then it's Val Kilmer, right? Did he only have one?
I believe he was only in one, and then it was George Clooney after that.
He was the one with Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face and
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey as the Riddler.
Correct.
And then it was Batman Robin, which is George Clooney.
Which is the one I've actually seen. The
strangest one. There's so many interesting choices.
Or I'd seen it before. I've seen at this point the first one, Batman and Forever, as of like a month ago, and now I've seen Batman and Robin in college.
Yeah, so, I saw Batman and Robin in theaters as a kid. You
poor bastard.
I mean, as a kid, I probably thought it was like...
It was probably dope, yeah. It was full of colors, and like there's a crazy that sequence with the cars on the collapsing statues.
Bill Clooney is... Or Bill Clooney.
Bill Clooney? Bill Clooney.
I don't know.
I did not rob that casino.
Oh man, love Bill Clooney, one of my favorite actors.
I did not.
Oh my god, maybe no. Bring aneurysm. His costume has nipples on it, which is
my brother and I did not kidnap those missionaries.
Bill Clooney. Wow. There you have it. Wow, I really lost my train of thought with that.
I'm sorry, Bill Clooney. George Clooney.
His costume has nipples, and
so does Val Kilmer's.
Everything's cartoonish, and I don't think so.
No, it does. Yeah. Can confirm. There's like a scene where Val Kilmer is like showing his Batman suit, and then like later on, Alfred's like, "I'm gonna make a Batman suit for Robin," and so he does, and then Robin's suit also has nipples on it.
Robin wasn't in the Val Kilmer one, was he?
Well, I watched it like a month ago.
Okay. No, I'm asking this time.
He was. He's introduced in it though. He's like his family dies. Like he's in the circus. There's like a whole like bomb situation, and then
they're trying to do trapeze shit.
Yeah. And then they just fucking die. Well, they get killed.
I didn't realize he was in that one. Okay, so they're all mixed up in my head.
That's okay. I didn't mean to yell. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't mean to yell at you, baby.
Well,
it's okay.
No,
I'm sorry.
I love you. A lot of times
I wish I could quit you.
I am very demanding that I'm right and you are wrong about these things very often. So I
me too. That's why we have these. I like had 3 arguments with you last episode, and I was wrong about every single one of them.
So you gotta be loud and proud when you're right.
I mean, I just, here's the thing, I have a lot to prove, or I feel like I have something to prove. So when I am right, I'm just like, come on. Like, I'm one of those people who, like, they raise their hand when they know the answer to the question, and the teacher doesn't call on them, and then they're just like, oh, I knew that one, you know?
You have to, like, announce to everyone that you're like, yeah, I knew it too.
I knew it. I'm not dumb.
You guys would have been so impressed if I would have got picked.
I'm not a dumb idiot, you guys. Stop. So, yeah, anyways. Sorry, what?
New design of the official bomb guy.
I love it. This is great. You did a good job. You took the framework I gave you, and This was a true collaborative process. The ideation of this picture, though, because we were like, let's do something about Elden Ring, and then I was like, what if we did a bunch of bomb knights fighting a giant monster? And you were like, or a giant knight, a bunch of bombs fighting a knight, and you were like, what if it was a bunch of knights fighting a giant bomb? Mic drop. Now you're drawing that monster, and
here we are.
Yeah, it was true It was true collaboration. Collaboration. So I played a game recently, and I have thoughts about it.
What game is that game?
I don't think we're gonna have a lot of other topics to bring up very easily, unless we get something going. So I'm gonna talk about this game now. Battlefield Bad Company 2.
In 100 episodes, asked me if you're allowed to talk about something.
I know, but I just, unless you have, like, a topic that's going to be more interesting than me just, like, giving my thoughts on a game that's over 10 years old, please save us.
I played that one, so it's been a long time, though.
Okay. This is just your last chance to save us from this.
Well, maybe I'll shut it down when I feel like it's gone too long, but...
Okay, please do. Shut it down and have no remorse. Okay, so I played Battlefield Bad Company 2 recently. Because I played Battlefield Bad Company 1 as a wee lad in high school, and I loved the shit out of that game. And so it's a good game. It's a good game. I played it with you, I'm pretty sure.
That's very possible.
I think I played Bad Company 1 with you online. Not a lot, but a little bit.
Sounds about right.
On Game Pass recently, they put Bad Company 2 on there, and I was like, oh, sweet, I'm gonna get the chance to finally play the sequel, because I never bought the second one, so I never had a chance to see.
You were dying to know what happened in that story.
I was a little bit, because, like, the
company continued to be bad.
Did the company continue their bad ways? And the answer is no, but I'll get into that. But, so, I didn't like it, though. I'm gonna get down to it. I didn't like it.
Bad, but not in a good way.
Yeah, it was bad company till the day I die.
Not in any of them, is it? Which is why you're mad at it.
Is because of the band Bad Company. None of the songs were in the game Bad Company. That's exactly why.
I felt lied to.
I felt like I had been betrayed, not just by Activision, EA, Blizzard, Blue Blah Bloom Dice, but by Bad Company. And that's their fault, ultimately. They should have sued. But, just kind of going back to my thoughts on this game, I didn't like it. I liked the first one. So, like, what I liked about the first one was that it would give you this big, like, the single player. I'm talking specifically single player. Multiplayer, I haven't played. I'm not really going to go looking to see who's playing Battlefield Bad Company 2 online still, even though maybe a bunch of new Game Pass players are. I don't know. I just don't feel like it. I'm not playing that game for the multiplayer. I'm playing it for the single player. But anyways, Battlefield Bad Company 1, the single player campaign, was cool because they'd give you, there was like a story, and like it wasn't very funny, honestly. It was like trying to be funny, but it was like game writing back in 2009 when our perception of what game writing could be was still very, very limited. It was always the same shit in video games. Like, it wasn't until, like, indie games started, like, actually trying to write good stories that it was like, oh, damn, game stories can have, like, impact and meaning. Oh, yeah. So,
back
the story...
people writing the story also looked at the medium as a lower art.
Exactly. All the story was basically in service of more gameplay, and nothing beyond that, every single time. And maybe, like, Battlefield Bad Company was like, oh, there's some jokes here on top of this story that's here to move you from playing the one level to playing the next level. But how Battlefield Bad Company 1 worked was there was this giant map, and they would put you on one side of it, and then they'd kind of like push you over the course of the level across these different encounters sort of set up across this map. But like these encounters were very freeform, so you could like start like them pretty much anywhere, and like you had like it was a little on the rails, but it was sometimes it was like surprisingly open, so you could like kind of have a lot of fun and explore around and get in like these fights. And it was cool. And then the story was about you guys are in the army, you're basically cannon fodder, and then you discover like a bunch of gold bars from the Russians. You know, go figure, current politics and stuff. But you basically go AWOL and try to steal this gold from the Russians. And it's funny because it's like it's a humorous storyline about a war game, but it's a game where the war is, you find out, just over gold. So it's kind of like a really dumb proxy war held by these. So it's like the humorous tone of the game and the story fits because the war that's being fought is not a serious one. It's basically the war itself is a joke, and that's kind of like the point of the story. And I liked that about the first one. And then in the second one, it's your guys are you're the same characters as the first game, but now you're like finding a super weapon that the Russians have.
Yes, I've definitely only played the first one. I'm realizing immediately of hearing this. Okay. That first story is familiar. The second one, not at all.
Okay, yeah. So the second story, do you mind if I spoil?
Go for it. I'm not gonna play it.
Okay. So the second story is there's a super weapon from like World War II that the Japanese made, and now in modern day the Russians are getting it, and they're planning on using it. And then your characters from Bad Company just happen to be the guys who get sent on the mission for whatever reason. I forget what exactly. I think because you're cannon fodder to go get the super weapon or whatever. So right away the storyline is immediately much more serious. But we're still supposed to like kind of like it's a lot less of a funny game. They really don't try and be as funny as the first time around. It's like kind of goofy. Like there's moments where the characters will say things to each other that are because the characters are goofy. Like the lines are kind of goofy. But otherwise, what was that?
Heavier handed though.
Heavier handed and yeah, very heavier handed and. There's like a bunch of characters from the first game that don't come back, and I really enjoyed their dynamics within the story. And then in the second one, it's just a much more serious war story. It's pretty much indistinguishable from a regular other war story. That's about it. There's like a couple, like the characters have these very like in this game they're even toned down, like the extremeness of their personalities for the most part. So it kind of loses and like the story itself, it never stops being about the super weapon, because like the very last thing you do in the story is you stop the guys from using the super weapon. So, and then like the levels themselves, the gameplay, there was one level I thought was cool, and then the rest of it was all just like it felt like instead of like, so the first Battlefield Bad Company had those like open world-ish, not very open world, but like still more open sort of single player levels. And this game sort of acts like it's doing that, but it's much more funneled. It's much more of a Call of Duty experience. And I think what happened was Battlefield Bad Company 2 comes out, or Battlefield Bad Company comes out. Call of Duty Modern Warfare comes out, makes gangbusters. Battlefield Bad Company 2 has to be more like Call of Duty.
Trying to compete.
To compete. And, it's just not nearly as fun because, like, Battlefield Bad Company 1, I never felt like I was going through a series of scripted sequence. Like, sometimes you were. But, like, they would have, like, a little cutscene, and then you were off running and shooting and exploding, and it was a lot of fun. And in this game, it's like you have moments where, like, you have to wait for lightning to snipe specific characters. It's, like, much more...
They're doing too much.
They're doing, like, much more cinematic things. It stops being about like this fun combat. It starts being about following a storyline. It's all like
interesting, because I feel like normally that would be something I would be happy about, that change. But I get like you were drawn to the first one because of the fun, like a simple. Maybe like the storyline is fun and simple, and that was what made it charming.
Well, it's that the storyline was fun and simple, and that made it charming, and it made the comedic nature of this war game make more sense. But also like the levels themselves were then actually fun, like the single player levels were enjoyable, and were like these fun, like they were like, here's a big ass town, explode the town. There's a couple of hidden gems in there. And then also there's like a bunch of Russian soldiers you gotta like take out, and like that was like the first game. And then the second game was like, here's a town, there's a couple of hidden collectibles in there, we put a bunch of Russian soldiers in there, but also we've divided the town so that you have to follow it in a very specific order. It's like a funnel. It's all a funnel. And like it's just, if you feel much more funneled around in the new game, and it's just
too linear, because they're trying to get all that cinematic stuff in that.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Like there's linear moments. Yeah. There's linear moments in Bad Company 1, but like then you have these really fun moments where they just let you like go for a little bit, and it's cool. And yeah. So they were going for the Call of Duty experience, and so what the game ended up losing was everything that made the first one enjoyable.
That's unfortunate, but I'm glad that you played it so that I didn't have to.
Yeah, there you go. And then like the story ends, by the way, like you finish doing your thing, and then like the U.S. Army commander comes and he's like, Russia's invading Alaska. It's like, oh man. And I beat the game like 2 days before Russia invaded Ukraine or whatever, so it's just like, man, this is bumming me out.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, this game story, it was too believable. That made it even less fun. Yeah, no, a war game that reminds you, of real war.
I think they're supposed to be escapism a lot of times, and being like, oh yeah, this is relevant. Okay.
Well, that's like half the reason I don't understand why people like I've played some of the Call of Duty games, and like I get it, but also like sometimes I'm just like, these aren't actually all that fun. Like it's like basically watching a movie where you like see everything through the main character's eyes, but also it's a movie where like 5 times they put you in a scene where you're watching through somebody's eyes as they die. Like that happens in every Call of Duty game at least like twice.
They love to do that.
Yeah.
You know, they love to let you shoot up an airport. This is high art, these games.
Yeah, Call of Duty, like the single player campaigns are basically like, hey, here's a traumatic moment, live it. Or here's someone dying, pretend you're that person. Here you go.
And they do it in like the way where they play it off like, well, you know, war is hell, and we're just trying to show you like, but it's like, no, this is arcadey most of the time. You don't get to be all like deep for like.
Yeah. John DiMaggio is in like the co-op levels. Like I can hear Jake the dog telling me I'm changing mags. So it's like, come on, dude. Like this is a fucking video game.
All right, so you giving that game a recommend for everyone?
Battlefield Bad Company 2. Hey, if you enjoyed Call of Duty and you want a Call of Duty game that doesn't know if it wants to be funny or if it wants to be serious, so it's just kind of neither. Check it out.
The game for you.
Check it out. I'm sure the multiplayer was bananas. Like good.
Probably. Especially if it was in that era where like they were trying to compete with Call of Duty. I bet you like it was. The story was the afterthought.
100%, yeah. Well, I mean, it usually is. Like, don't get me wrong, but at least in Bad Company, I still enjoyed the story. But, like, the fucking multiplayer in Bad Company 1 was also bananas, and I was bananas good at it for, like, a little while.
There was a point where the story was the primary thing, and the multiplayer was, like, a bonus, and then it shifted.
It shifted.
To those style games, which is not a bad thing, I'm just saying.
Yeah. I think for Battlefield, it's always been about the multiplayer, though, because I remember Battlefield Vietnam, which was, I think, the one before Bad Company. That one was, I remember, being very focused on the multiplayer. I would see, like, like I would get PC Gamer magazine, and it would just constantly, every issue would have like the newest news about Battlefield Vietnam or something like that, and I was like, I didn't have the games, and I had never played a Battlefield game before, so I was just like, why the fuck do they keep talking about this fucking game? But like, at least Battlefield Bad Company paid. I don't know anything about like if Vietnam's like single player was fun. It might have been. I don't know. But Bad Company's was fun, and then I played. I mean, we've played Battlefields 3 and 4, and 3 was all right. Like the story, it was. 3 was basically like, I remember playing 3, and I didn't think it at the time, but I know now that 3 was definitely going for the Call of Duty experience.
Yeah.
Because like 3, I remember there was a level where you play as a guy who gets like beheaded in like a Taliban video. It's like, this feels a little. That was like after it just happened too. It was like, this feels a little. It was a little exploitative.
Right. Like in the sense of entertainment, maybe we shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like I remember I saw a meme recently, and like I'd thought this before, but like this meme, I thought it was like, I'm glad at least somebody else is thinking it. But it was like a meme where it shows like a guy grimacing, just like. I'm gonna do a close up. And the caption says like your dead grandfather grimacing as you relive his like worst day of his life in a video game for fun or something like that.
Right.
It's like, yeah. It seems weird. I don't know. War game like
that something is so distant that to most people that you can become something that you have fun with.
Yeah, like I'm surprised like people, I mean, I guess like here's the thing, like if we had the technology of today and then but World War II had happened, say, and like we had the technology and like the media of today, but like it was in the 1950s, like 5 years after World War II had officially ended, like I don't think we'd have any war games. I don't think it would.
Probably not.
Or maybe we would. I don't know. They made war movies still, like while the war was happening.
War movies very popular.
But is it different because it's a game like where you're actively like taking part in the murder? Because like, and it's like a war game's not about the story, whereas a war movie is arguably still about the story. It's about like these characters.
Something about that, the fact that you're in control rather than viewing it, because like there's been ever since I was a kid, people have been like debating whether video games make you violent, but movies are so violent and no one really gives a shit as much.
The new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie just came out. There's a movie.
Also, I think that conversation's stopping a little bit because originally I think people thought video games were just for kids.
Yeah.
At least the person who was not playing them thought that.
Well, I think
I think it's pretty clear that they're not.
Yeah.
Just for kids.
I think so. It's definitely a lot of that. It's a lot of, I think, I want to say people who are in charge are better with technology, but we know that that's not true at all. And like Hillary Clinton was like one of the people behind like the campaigns to like make like censor video games, and like she was trying to be the president like 4 years ago or something like that. So
well, now the adults are the people that grew up playing them all, and we're all like, we're not murderers, so I guess it's fine.
Yeah, I guess we're fine. But yeah, like I don't know, like what's the sensitive, like what's, I don't know, I feel conflicted morally sometimes about war games in specific, like games where you kill people, like it's a thing, but like war games, because war isn't ever like war isn't a thing. I don't know how to explain it. Like war is a thing that just happens to people. Like it's not like something that like
shouldn't be entertainment.
I mean, I don't want to say nothing. I mean, I guess some things shouldn't be entertainment, but like there are some things I think shouldn't be entertainment. Like I don't know, like rape shouldn't be entertainment. I don't think anything like that. I would be okay with us never having an entertaining rape, whatever.
Yeah, I feel like it can be in storytelling, but yeah, it shouldn't be exploitative or like. I don't think anything's off limit in writing as long as it serves a purpose that's not like bad taste or punching down.
But that's in writing specifically, and like when it comes to like a video game, like so like you have like a violent war movie, and like ultimately the movie is about these characters and what they're trying to accomplish. There's like a storyline and there's a plot that's what that's about. If you play a war game, like a war video game though, like what you're ultimately doing is just trying to get the experience, like simulate the experience of shooting a bunch of people. And that sounds like, I sound like an old man who's like scared of video games going like, oh, it's a game and all you do is you shoot people. It's like...
I think you're just raising the question. I mean, you were just talking about how you just played...
Yeah, that's true.
2 of those games. So it's not that you're like anti, you're just saying like,
yeah.
Is this problematic? That's a good question.
Yeah, especially because like here's...
Discussion.
How many years do you think it'll be before we get like Call of Duty Ukraine? Like how?
Right, or like, you know, something more recent, or like, you know, the other thing I was thinking, like when's like, you know, Pearl Harbor's already shown itself in a lot of games. Like when's like 9/11 going to be in a video game or something like that? Something that like at the time would just be like the most offensive thing you could possibly do.
Just completely galling. Well, I'm trying to think like.
We'll get there, I guarantee it.
Simulated a mass shooting. Simulate. I'm trying to think like. The Vietnam War happened. I don't know if it was ending or if it was like still like just like in the middle of it in like 1969. I want to say, or maybe it was over by then. I'm terrible at history. I wish I knew more about history because I find history. I find fistory very fascinating because like whose fists have been up my anus? No, but history I find to be very fascinating because it's just a lot of cool shit that's happened, but it's also hard to remember dates.
Plus, it's, you know, fascinating because I know it's a very repeated phrase, but history repeats itself. So by seeing what has happened in the past, it can tell you a lot about how things are going to play out for other events.
Very, very true. So yeah, I just checked. 1969 it was smack dab in the middle of the Vietnam War.
Okay.
Or actually, not even. It says the Vietnam War went from 1955 to 1975. That's 20 years. It's one of those forever wars.
The 70s was like, there's still shit going on.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Like the precursors to the forever war.
Right.
So anyway,
it was horrible and bad, and a lot of people to this day who like dealt with it are still suffering from it.
Yeah.
But it is interesting because it also, I think, was the first. I think it kind of soured, which is a good thing, soured America's opinion on wars because we were all riding high off of World War II.
We were hoorah! Let's be the police. Like we were literally like Team America, World Police. Like that's what we were doing.
We were pretty psyched about World War II, so I think it was good to get. I mean, that seems really offensive to anybody who had to be in it. For me to say like, oh, good, but I'm just saying like I'm glad.
I mean, I think anyone who's a veteran.
View
I think anyone who's
war actually is.
Anyone who's a veteran won't be opposed to somebody saying like, hey, maybe we shouldn't have wars.
I guess that is ultimately what I'm trying to say. It's just
because like a veteran knows firsthand like, hey, you should not have wars. Like I've seen it. War is not a thing that should exist.
Vietnam was like a little bit more of a.
It was like a watershed moment almost.
It was a breakthrough on the brainwashing that we have, like, you know, it was really.
Well, it was mostly because it was the first time that like television news was around to really give, like, to be there and to kind of give you like a first-hand account of everything. And yeah, and
people were more accountable, or had to be.
People, yeah, or like, you know, propaganda became like all of a sudden. I mean, I don't know. There's like talk about like how much propaganda played into both the beginning and end of the Vietnam War. I don't know enough to even really get into any of that, but like having television, like a television in every home by that point, meant like the war was both able to be reported on by the news, but also like propaganda was that much easier to sort of like send to people, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I have nothing to add aside from the Vietnam War was like ended in 1975, a very real war, but it happened. That's where I think it changes for video games, is like, did it happen over there, you know? Like, we were having like fucking, there was a Medal of Honor game that was like set in Afghanistan, and like it was like 10 years after the Afghanistan war had happened or something like that. Like it was still, like we were still over there, people were still dying. But it's like, would we feel differently if like the war was like here? Yeah, like
probably.
would we be? Yeah, 100%. I feel like.
I think a lot of people are. It's kind of like a separate thing to them in their head.
Yeah, ups camps.
Kind of like just the only comparison I can think of at the moment is like when COVID happened here. Everybody, I think a lot of people were like, it's just another one of those like, swine flu, whatever. We have to hear about it, and then it'll go away, and it won't actually affect us. It's a separate thing. Even though you hear about it happening to all the other countries first, I think people still were just like, no, it doesn't. It never comes here. None of this stuff ever happens here. Stop. And then we're all fine, and nothing changes. And it's happened 20 times in my life. I'm used to this.
We're used to being very isolated from like the after effects of the world and our policies.
Yeah. Rarely comes here, so I think that people can be easily desensitized to it or separate from it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Just like in general, like not just like strictly related to video games, but like what is not. It's a very vacuous. Actually, I'd say it's on a person by person basis. Like, what's good taste to make something about when? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, we're clearly not experts on the subject. It's just kind of an interesting thing to think about. Yeah, I don't know. I think you can kind of, the average person can kind of sense the motives of a piece of art. Is this meant to like tell a story or raise awareness, or is this like just fun shooting simulator?
Yeah, I think that intention is where a lot of it lies. I think.
Yeah. Bilbo Rock. Oh, our cams are stuck. Oh wait, I know that.
That was a while ago. I fixed it. I saw that and I fixed it.
Bilbo Rocket says, "Do video games cause school shooters?" That's it. Wow, that's interesting. I've never heard that conversation argument before. That's interesting.
Zoomers don't remember having to deal with that.
Yeah,
but also Zoomers
flossing in between rounds of shooting each other in Fortnite.
Yeah, although Zoomers have to deal with a lot more school shooters these days. So
that's true.
Which do you prefer? Getting shot at in school more, or just having old people bitch about video games? I don't know.
Gosh, what a fun show this is.
Really bringing it down, aren't we?
I know. Yeah, that's not to get on that topic necessarily, but that is another one that like always felt like a separate thing. I know they've been happening more and more, but when we were in school, I didn't actually. To be totally honest, I never actually felt like that was a real thing that would happen in my school, anything like that. But I mean, the last big one was just in Michigan, not far. Like I know that town,
Pretty
so it's wild. It's definitely a very more real thing.
Yeah, I don't. It's. I mean, it's definitely not video games. I think we can say that.
No.
Something else is going on, and I think it'd be easy to just like say it's one specific thing, but I think it's just a number of issues just intersecting.
Yeah, it's a big cultural mishmash of things that have put us where we're at, in my opinion. But I'm nobody, so
yeah, no one's gonna listen to me.
My opinion is pretty useless on the subject, I will say.
I could know the answer and I could say it, and it would affect nothing. I could say I can solve school shooters tomorrow, and no one who is able to do anything about it would be able to act upon my amazing advice that does not actually exist.
This drawing is taking a while, but I'm really enjoying it.
Are we gonna color this bad boy, or are we gonna leave it be?
I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. If we color it, we're not getting anything else done tonight. Just letting you know that right now.
I know. But let's finish drawing. If the chat has any input on whether they'd like us to move on or color this, let us know, and ultimately we'll make a call. But I want to see if there's overwhelming opinions either way.
I feel like it works better black and white than it would in color, almost. I'm not sure why. But I could also see how we could make it work in color, so. leave it black and white because it looks like a D&D first edition illustration, says Zenus, and he is correct. That is a good point.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I tried to make it as disgusting as possible because
I think you did a great job.
It was pretty gross.
I think you nailed it. I think you did a great job on that monster.
Double Rocket says, no time for art, only Elden Rings. Well, we did both. We threaded the needle here.
Mm-hmm. That's right. What else am I playing? Damn, all my content I've talked about, I've used up.
It's alright. You haven't watched any movies or anything?
Just the ones we talked about already.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I guess I can say I've seen 2 episodes of a show. I can talk about
I've also
that.
seen 2 episodes of a show.
Whoa, you go first, please. For the love of God, you go first.
Well, not recently. I'm just saying.
I
have seen 2 episodes of a show. More, in fact.
So you've been watching It's Always Sunny lately?
Yes.
What episode are you on?
Let's see. We just shoot. Let me think about it for a second. We just saw the one where they all went in quarantine because of the flu, and that episode's awesome. There's actually like that season is really good. I think it's 7 or 9. I can't remember.
Sounds about right. It's a great season though. Yeah.
It's also kind of funny and relevant because
the quarantine.
Great. Yeah, the quarantine thing's funny.
I remember when quarantine first started, and a lot of people were posting that I must be clean.
Yeah, very true. That's season 9, and season 9's got some real awesome episodes. Like back to back.
Yeah.
Some of my favorites. Let me look it up actually. Maybe I shouldn't be doing that right now.
I think people are saying we shouldn't color this monster though.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I've been getting too, which is fine. We can move on.
I'm okay with it.
I'll save it as a raw file too, so in case I feel like coloring it later, I can.
Oh, nice. I didn't know you could do that. The raw file is just like the line art, and you can.
Yeah, like it leaves it so you can like open it up in this program. It's not like a stuff, like a flat. Leaves the layers and everything.
Oh, I see. When you say raw file, you mean just I gotcha. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Other good ones in this season were The Gang Breaks D. That's a good one. Mac and Dennis Buy a Timeshare. I like that one a lot with the funnel.
Yeah.
the pyramid scheme. Mac Day is a good one.
Mac Day is a great one.
The Gang Saves the Day is a creative one. Flowers for Charlie.
Yeah, Flowers for Charlie is one of the best episodes.
It's a goodie.
It's a goodie.
Yeah.
Alright. This drawing is looking so fantastic. And then once we're done saving this drawing, do you want to take like a 5-minute break, refill our cups, go to the bathroom? I have to. Pepe is so bad.
Okay. Well, we can call this drawing now unless there's anything else you want to add.
I can't think of anything. I mean, aside from like doing some hatch shading on like the monsters to like make it pop from the background a bit more, but like that might ruin it. I don't know. It would also take like an extra 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I like this drawing a lot because it's compositionally very clear. I know what's happening. Like I don't get like lost in the sauce on it.
Yeah, it's nice. Good work on the background stuff. I like it.
Thank you. Great work on the monster. Right. That was all you.
Oh, thank you so much. Alright, I'm gonna save this real quick.
Alright.
Elder Bombs is what I'll call this file.
Elder Bombs. It's good. Good name.
Great name. Fantastic name. Anything else we can pat ourselves on the back for right at this moment before we go to break?
Congrats on 99 episodes, bro.
Woo!
Yeah.
It's pretty. It feels good. I feel good about that.
Yeah, you feel good about 99?
Wow. I do. I do. Feel good. Feel good. How do you feel? Do you feel good?
I feel good. I feel like we should advertise the show more.
Oh yeah, maybe the second 100 we'll try a little bit harder. But I've had a blast. This has been. I feel like the show's been more for me than for the audience. I'm entertained.
Yeah, I have a good time.
All right, let's go to that break.
Let's do the break. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, burn.
Refilled on fluids, emptied fluids, good to go.
Okay, I started the show as you were saying that last sentence
Oh,
by accident.
oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Well, you know, I'm sure the viewers are excited to know that, you know, everything's working as intended.
Fluids are good all around.
Mm-hmm.
Me too, actually. I'm doing pretty good on fluids.
How was your break? How was it?
It was good. Here's the weird thing. Okay, can we talk about that for a second?
Sure.
I was about to start the show, but I felt like I had come back from my break too abruptly and was like, let's get going. And I felt kind of rude. But we'd only not seen each other for like 2 minutes, but I was still like, I'm rude. Should I have asked Brandon how his break was?
Are we back at the moment?
We're back. Yeah, we're back. I'm on my screen.
Okay,
right
well,
now.
I was watching the screen and maybe it's not caught up, but we're still on the "We'll be back" screen, aren't we?
Oh my. It is saying that for me, but it's showing up on my... I mean, we're also, like, lagging out the wazoo, so this could be... The delay could be
right,
pretty
now it's
bad.
back. Now it's back. You know,
I just saw it
there's some
slide
latency.
down. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you checking in. That's why you're a good friend. You're like, hey, I want to make sure my pal has been good in the last 2 minutes. No, you know, nothing upsetting happened. No curveballs. No.
You never know.
Drama. Yeah, you know, something horrible could have happened in the last.
You never
2 minutes,
know.
but it didn't.
Yeah.
Still cruising along, feeling great.
A car could have ran into the pole outside your window and...
That pole's gone, so now that car would hit me. If any
That
car takes
scares
the
me.
same trajectory, it's all over.
That's so
just
rude
for
of
the
them.
viewers at home who might be wondering, I was playing Red Dead on the stream probably about... It was during the summer.
Ago. I wanna say, almost a year ago.
I think it was during the summer. But
I want to say that sounds about right.
Close to a year ago. And all of a sudden we heard a loud noise, and I walked over to the window, and there was a car pointed directly... I'm next to a busy road. There was a car pointed directly at me, smashed around a random pole that was in my front yard. I don't know. It was like an old street light that's no longer working. But the car was pointed right at me, and it hit a pole. And the people were fine. I was fine. The pole was not fine. The pole was taken out now. And if it weren't there, I would be the pole.
That scares me. First of all, that's crazy. There's like an alternate universe where you're dead.
Oh, there's a million of those. Probably more
That's
than
true.
ones where I'm alive,
I can
right?
think of like 800 too, where I'm also dead. There's probably like 800 where I'm doing much better than currently though. So
Every time you use a set of stairs, there's an alternate universe where you fall and snap
true.
your neck in half.
every time I went driving, there's 10 alternate universes where I
Yeah,
crashed.
there you go, exactly.
But
we're here and we're alive.
So they took the pole out after it was proven that it works. So
I don't think that was the pole's design, but I'm thrilled that it was there when it was.
Can you ask for it back?
New pole? Can we get a new
Yeah.
pole, please?
Can we get a new pole in there? And they'll be like, why? And you'll be like, did you see what happened last time the pole was there?
I have an unreasonable phobia now of
I'm
cars.
a little scared.
Poles not protecting. I'll only relax in spots where there are poles surrounding me to protect me from speeding cars.
Cars terrify me, man. People should not be allowed to drive those things.
Yeah,
I cannot wait.
scary.
Sorry, go ahead.
Every once in a while, I have one of those like moments of realization when I'm driving, where I'm just like, "Wow, these things are super dangerous."
Yeah,
and I use them every day.
The moment that like we can make automated driving work and like it functions perfectly, like it doesn't kill people like we've had happen when they've tried it out and now we've stopped hearing about it. Crazy. If they ever do get that technology working and they perfect it so like the cars drive on the road and nobody dies, they should take steering wheels out of cars and they should make it robots only from then on. like iRobot. iRobot is where I want it to go.
I think that's the goal, and I think it will get to that point to some degree.
Yeah.
But there's some interesting stuff with that, and I hate to even bring it up because a lot of like people who are anti,
automation,
driverless cars or automation or like
yeah.
you know
Technology.
Use
Tech
this
change.
as their like they use this as their like argument. So I'm not trying to like be part of that. I
People
do
who are
think
afraid
that's
of the
future, and
singularity.
I think there's a lot less death and stuff from if that were the case. But there is going to be something weird where driverless cars are going to kind of be like trains, where if somebody just like runs out in front of you, it's just going to be game over because your car is going to have to make decisions based on everything around you.
Yeah.
And slamming the brakes to not crush this person would maybe cause like a pile up if you're on like the highway or something.
This is true.
So your car has to make a decision, and it's probably going to choose. But you shouldn't run in the road, sir.
If your car is in the situation where it stopping so fast is gonna cause a pileup, then you're probably like on a busy street. You're probably going so fast. Your reaction time is already gonna suck if a person's like out in front of you. So like if you have to slam on the brakes, that person like jumped in front of you. I don't know what the situation is. Like
100%. That I'm not saying that like if there was a man behind the wheel that would be avoidable.
Yeah.
I'm saying that because a robot is making this decision instead of a person, it's going to create this weird thing.
But hear me out. Your reaction time is not as good as a robot's can be.
Sure.
So, imagine this. The robot car is driving, person jumps in front of it, but it sees the person jumping, and it stops. Now here's the thing. It can't stop so fast it's gonna kill you. Like, that's pointless. And, like, it might not work anyways. So, like,
it can stop so fast that it would, like, cause accidents around you.
But the car behind you is also a robot car and has the exact same reaction time as your robot car.
Maybe if they can all speak to each other and, like, keep enough distance that
can also happen. But, like, if your
depends.
car is...
The person who jumps in the road might, like...
First of all, what are they doing? Who is this guy? Fuck them.
I'm going to throw my head right under the tire.
Hard. What is happening in that person's life? But like,
well, you know, there's people that jump in front of trains and shit like that. I'm sorry, you know, they're having a bad time.
Why though?
Well,
don't do that.
Suicide is the thing, unfortunately.
I can't help you if you do that. You run the risk of dying. Like,
yeah, it's just a weird thing, but it's fascinating to talk about.
Yeah, but so like if your robot car has the reaction time to stop for this person, the robot car behind you has the same reaction time. So it'll also stop. And then the robot car behind it, now like it can't stop so fast that you all get whiplash or die from like the G-force or whatever. So it's like but it's also going to be better at all of like I mean they can calculate like again, this is in the future when they have like all the algorithms perfected, but like from what I've seen that technology and AI is able to do, it's not far off to like expect at least some form of like collision detection. It's just a matter of
I think the technology exists, but the infrastructure does not.
Yeah. Well, it's like somebody's got to like pony up money to Google or Bing or get their own satellite to do like Google Maps all over again. Because like Google Maps has like the location and information about like every road in the world. So like just use that information in your like your car is already outfitted with the GPS. So like the driver AI is already working off of information of where every road ever is. And then there's like it can do collision detection at like the level that a robot is able to do. And like it can do I took a photo of my dog yesterday because he was looking so cute, and
what's that dog's name?
Juno.
Dad's a big Michael Cera fan.
Yes, that's right. No, I don't know if he's ever seen the movie, but I know. I think I watched.
I'm gonna name the dog after it.
Yeah, I don't know why he.
There's a hamburger phone in that movie, and that's also why we have those around.
We named it after the hamburger phone. The dog loves hamburgers.
All dogs love hamburgers. I don't think there's any dog that exists in the world that doesn't like a hamburger.
I imagine. And I don't think there's a dog in the world that doesn't like everything that's put in front of it that looks like it could eat. Like a dog. My dog tried to pick up
shit.
My dog tried to eat a shard of glass that came off of a plate the other day. Like, the dog will eat anything. It just like, oh, can I eat this? And it was like, no, you can't eat that, you'll die. And I tried to get
Dogs are dumb, but it's why we love them.
But, just going back to, I just want to finish my original thing real quick.
Yeah, sorry.
I took a photo of the dog, and then I looked at, I saw like a button on the thing, and it was like, it turned out it was like photo properties or whatever. It just said like all the information the phone had about like my photo, like what camera, what phone version. But then it also said dog, and I'm like, I had to zoom in on myself.
I saw you tap the button. I knew what was going on.
I was like, the phone has detection algorithm in it that says it's a dog, that it's a photo of a dog that I just took, and like
it knows it's looking at a dog.
It knows it's looking at a dog, so like the image detection is already there. Like, it's already doing the thing that image detection is supposed to do. It's terrifying. It's very frightening, but like.
Think about all the image detection you don't know about. That one seems kind of charming if you think about it, but like,
yeah, it's
think
like,
about
oh
all the
my
image
God.
detection that's built that is like in the code that you don't hear about.
There's like, I've been afraid of it ever since I took a photo on like my iPhone 3, and at some point, like after an update, it started like putting a dot over the faces, and I was like, it's detecting where people's faces are and like putting a dot over them, and then like it, after a while, I noticed like it would have that dot, and like I'd click it just out of curiosity because I was like still kind of like wowed by it. And then I noticed after like a certain point, like it had the faces of like it took like that face that I just tapped on, and then it was like, here's every other photo with that person's face on it. And I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
But it makes me uncomfortable.
What? I have no reason for that feature unless like that person dies and I want to put together like a collage and like, but like other than that,
Don't worry, the phone puts together a collage for you.
It does. Hi.
We overheard this person die.
Do you miss this person? Here you go.
Like,
There's like a
we heard you
ukulele
mourning,
song.
and our technology is able to mourn realize who you were crying about. Here's a eulogy we put together for you.
No, like the technology's not there yet. They still think it'll still say, "Congratulations, today's the day your friend died." That's what it'll do. But it's But like, I hate all of that. Like, every one of you who's developing this technology, please stop. Please don't do this stuff.
The ball's rolling. They're already building the
It's already over.
That will enslave us all.
Yeah, the ball is.
I've seen the movies. Right now, somewhere in a lab, some guy's like starting some program with like an ominous name.
Some Russian like hacker has developed a malware that like that automatically deepfakes everybody in the world based on like their iPhone gallery. That's probably happened. Or I've just conjured that into the ether by saying that. I'm so sorry, everybody. It's happening now.
As far as the killer robot goes,
I'm not doing
I have to imagine this is the part of the robot or the part in the film where the robot is still like kind of cute and charming, and it's impressive, like the leaps and bounds it's making.
Yeah.
We're not quite to the part where it decides to murder everybody. It's kind of like the Planet of the Apes remake.
Mm-hmm.
Where James Franco in the beginning, it's pretty heartwarming, his relationship with Caesar. But then you get to the real meat and potatoes.
Pretty soon he's electrocuting Draco Malfoy with a stun baton, you know?
That's true, he does do that.
That scene was so good, man. I love
when
that.
he yells no. I was in the theater. I liked that movie at the time. I don't know if it would hold up.
All those movies are great, actually. Actually, that's a great series. I didn't think it would be, but it was all great.
I was in the theater in the moment where the ape goes, "No!" And it like yells, like, not to spoil it, but the theater audibly gasped, me included.
Me too, yeah. I was like, holy shit.
Oh, fuck. These apes are going to take over this planet, and then it will become some kind of world of apes.
Yeah. It's been a little while since I've seen him, but
I'm still working on a title, but that's the best I can come up with. World of Apes.
Hold on, we're almost there. World of
Earth
Apes.
apes.
World
Earth
of
apes.
Earth Apes. Earth Primate 1 Alpha.
There we go. We got it.
Here we are. Hold on, we're ignoring the chat. I'm just gonna check that real quick, and then I'm gonna finish this drawing that I started. And I just do the same thing all the time. I just talk and I don't draw.
It's a man in the bag.
Man in the bag. We talked about this earlier.
Or a person in the bag. I don't know. I can't
It's
tell
you
if it's a man.
sitting in the corner with a bag on your head, because that's all you do when you don't do the stream.
Oh, yeah. That is me.
We talked about that.
I have a
earlier.
bag. I just have a bag that has like the closed sign on it.
I might add some details to the bag. I don't know. It was a funny idea when we talked about it, but you know, it's just kind of a person sitting down. But real quick, I'm just gonna read the comments. Sorry. No time. Oh wait, we read that one. I want my car to drive me so bad. You would have to link all the cars together, like Geth. The Geth from Mass Effect. She's talking about when we were talking about like getting the cars to communicate with each other.
I would love it if my car drove itself. My God. Although it would make me lazier, I would plan to do things in the car on the way to work or whatever.
Yeah. Oh my God, I would be doing like if I was in high school back if I was me when I was in high school and I had a car that drove itself, I would be doing my homework on the way to school instead of driving.
It would make me travel more, I think.
True.
Because you could just be like, I'm gonna sleep, and then when I'll already have 8 hours towards my destination.
I'll be kicking in the back seat. Don't mind me.
I would travel a lot more, but you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would procrastinate a lot more because I would plan on doing things in the car, which doesn't work very well. Cause I get car sick if I do shit in the car that isn't just looking out the window.
That would actually okay. So I'm thinking now. The moment this sucks to think about, and I hate that I thought this. The moment you get a self-driving car, and like the moment that's like
in the car.
Well, your boss is like, hey, this is your work home. This is your work for your drive home.
Oh God,
like that.
That's
like
totally
you're on the clock till your drive home. Like, or I don't know. That actually sounds.
You still have to work when you're in the car.
And you're on.
Hopefully, like you work the same amount of time, but you can at least spend the last hour of work in the car.
Oh God, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think what they would do is
they'd find a way to ruin it for everybody.
I think what they would do is they would say that you have to work on the drive home because you don't have to drive anymore, but it wouldn't count as your 8 hours or anything like that. It's just like it's just like time that it's just like work that you do. It's like every morning when I worked at the credit union, we would have to be there like 15 minutes early, and we would have to like clean up and like get ready and set things up. But like that 15 minutes, we weren't on the clock. We had to like be on the clock. Yeah, we weren't on the clock. We had to
not legal.
We had to like stay. And like then like everyone would be like, oh, it's 8 o'clock, everyone. Now we clock in. But we've been there for 15 minutes opening everything up and everything. So
that's not legal.
So they would be doing that, but it's now on your drive home. You're still doing work. That's how.
I also do that shit for free, but they have a loophole with me. Yours is just straight up not legal. But for me, I work in a restaurant, so they only have to pay you $3 an hour. So after taxes, that's equals nothing. It's gone. But yeah, you have all the side work is a big thing in restaurants. You probably know.
Yes, I do.
And it takes like over an hour. So after you only get paid by the tips. So your tables are all gone. So there's no more money coming in, and now you're just cleaning and shit. And that's a big thing in restaurants. And restaurants are very, even though it's how I pay for most of my shit. Restaurants are very
awful.
It's labor theft for sure. They don't.
It's for sure. Yeah.
No, there is Xenoots. You say it's illegal, but there's actually legally there's something like an allotted amount of time that they can, and they are paying you.
I mean, we don't know about the light. The light's better, actually. So.
He's talking about yours. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that is legal. They can't do that.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't work there anymore, so. I mean, here's the thing, though. During that time, I would also go and I would get my coffee, so, you know. And we would bullshit. I mean, the thing is, it wasn't like 100% we were working during that time. Like, we were bullshitting and like getting our coats and getting our coffee. But like, by the time it was that time period, we would have to. I guess we didn't have to do anything.
Them asking you to.
I don't remember. It's been so long ago. I've forgotten my schedule of like what my routine was anymore. I don't even remember. I'm trying to like remember what the exact sequence of events was, and I can't.
So that brings up an interesting, not very interesting, but something that I think about sometimes.
Draw a Scyther from memory. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was going towards. If you went back to an old job that you haven't been to in years, and you just had to clock in and try to work a day, how well do you think you would do for different jobs throughout your life?
I just have to do it for a day?
You just have to make it through the day and try to do it efficiently. How well do you think you could do it without any retraining? Just punch in like you normally would. How many things do you think you'd fuck up, and how many things do you think you like would come back? Like,
what are the repercussions if I get fired?
There's none. It's
okay.
I'm not saying like screw up on purpose, but say you're attempting to do your best.
Okay.
It's not about like getting fired and all that. I'm just curious, like retention. Okay. What in your memory would be like? Okay, I remember how this goes.
In this universe, of my own volition, I have decided to work my old job again for a day.
Sure. Whatever. You're digging into the wrong part of the thought experiment.
I'm trying to get into the mindset. I'm trying to know, because the thing is,
put you in this place. I'm saying if you were forced to do your job for one day, any old job, how capable would you be, or would you be totally lost? Does your brain delete?
I think I would do
all the things you need to know.
I think the routine stuff. The thing is, like, a lot of the stuff that was routine, either somebody else could handle, or like it was a matter of like you just could ask
also
a manager.
Pretend that like nothing has changed at your place of work, because I'm sure you could also say like going back, these places are dramatically different in like the last 5 to 10 years since you've been there.
So am I
pretend that it's the same, like
I woke up the next day.
So you went back in time. You have because you need this setup. Oh, you went into a time machine, and you're back in time.
I'm so sorry I've made this so complicated.
You worked at your job, and for some reason, because time machine stories always just have convoluted science, if for some reason anyone realizes that you're not your normal self, you'll be deleted. You'll disappear. So you have to play it cool and be yourself. You have to go to work. So yeah, instead of getting fired, you get deleted from all time and space.
Okay. Now I have to ask some more questions. I'm so sorry.
Great. I'd love to flesh out this pointless world when I just had a simple question for you that you're refusing to answer.
Because the thing is, it's so contextual.
Okay, let's go. I'm excited.
Am I pretend? Is it like I've woken up? Okay, so is it like I've lived the current timeline of events, and then am waking up tomorrow in my bed from before I quit my job, and I have to act like it's me, the same person who like I have to act like I know everything I've known as well as I've known it, or is it
so now I'm asking, like, could you be socially the same person?
Do I have to be socially, or is it like, hey, we put you back in your old job. Like, can you do your job?
My question was, could you remember how to do your job?
Well, because here's the thing.
Years later, that's the question.
I would forget shit all the time when I was doing my job, and if I didn't know anything, I'd just be like, "Yo, Pat, what is this?" And then he'd be like, "That's that."
You didn't feel like you were efficient at your job when you were there.
I was efficient. There was so much stuff. No one knew everything. Everyone would have to ask everybody something sometimes.
Well, I'm not claiming to be like a genius, but when all my jobs, I feel like I've gotten to the point where I know what the fuck I'm doing.
I worked at a bank. I had to do a mortgage. That's so much harder. That's hard.
Bad about this.
Some people had to be notaries. I don't know. It's like.
Okay, so for the bank job, the answer is no. How about other jobs? Could you go back and do them to the level of quality that you were doing them when you actually worked there? How about
a restaurant? No, because I don't know what the menu is anymore, and I don't remember the menu anymore.
Okay, that's the question. Say the menu is exactly what it was when you were there.
If it was the bank, I wouldn't remember any of the codes because the codes get changed. Blah blah blah.
That was going to be my answer. Is that I would really struggle with the codes and things like logging in, and punching in. That's where I've struggled.
That's where I'm trying.
I could do most of my jobs as far as like that physical, remembering like what goes where, when it has to be done.
Yeah, I would remember that stuff. I know where like the safety deposits are and all the things like that.
Some jobs, yes. Some jobs, no, not at all.
Yeah. Logins.
Bubba Rock is trying to put an end to this loop. It says, I think the answer to Brad's question is no. Yeah, I think so too.
The answer is no.
I wasn't expecting it to be.
I'm so sorry I took us down this rabbit hole. I don't know why.
No, I mean, that was entertaining to me, but it was not where I expected it to go.
I'm going to go back and I'm going to read the chat from back when we were talking about...
Okay, go ahead.
Cars. Because we never... Bell is posting so much and I feel bad that we just completely disregarded everything.
Oh, we're going to get there.
Okay, they said, oh yeah. You can go into your camera and search for keywords, e.g. dog or tree, and your camera will pull up images it thinks you look... that look like trees.
What if you type in dog or tree? Is it bring up things that the computer can't tell whether it's a dog or a tree?
That's a great question.
This is a very dog-like tree.
I think it's a tree. Hold on a sec.
Okay.
My phone literally did put together a slideshow for my dead cat, like remembering your best friend.
What the fuck? That doesn't seem like heartwarming because it seems like it's not asked for. So to be just like offered up from a computer, hey man, I saw you're going through a lot. Just wanted to leave this thing I made. I was thinking of you and I made this. It's like, no, that's just weird and cold. This weird like beep boop.
That's terrifying.
Slideshow of dead cat.
Yeah, like what prompted that?
Sorry about your cat, by the way.
Yeah. Was it Navi? Was that the cat that? Is that the name? This is now. I'm now asking her to respond to a conversation that's way, way, way old. But
this was a cat that was adopted at the height of Avatar.
I think it was named after the fairy from Zelda.
Oh, my bad. Oh, damn. I feel bad
okay.
now that I assumed that was an Avatar thing.
Hey, that's okay. I mean, if it was Avatar, it'd be just as valid. Like, okay, it's.
I know, but I feel like one thing is kind of lame and one thing is kind of cool, and I wish I would have picked the other one.
That's okay. A lot of people like Avatar. It's fine. I have to wonder what prompted the iPhone to put to, like, is there something like, was it the first? What made
one of your tears fell onto my sensor?
Yeah, like what I could sense you were crying lately. Would you like some pictures of cat? No. Are you sad because your friend is not nearby? Here you are as pictures of your cat friend.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah, I got it.
It was Navi.
It was Navi, okay. R.I.P. Navi. Rip Torn in peace. Rip Torn in peace, Rip Torn. I'm just gonna real quick scan through the rest of these. Playing do things within the car is the opposite of lazy, I think. That's fair. I think that's very fair. Is it legal? Wage theft? Yo, fuck that, Ian. Never work for free. Never,
the whole playing to do things in the car opposite of lazy. I don't mean... Lazy wasn't the right choice of words. Procrastination was the right choice of words. There's things that I should do before I leave the house that I would then be like, well, I can do them in the fucking car. Like, I'll be like...
I finally caught up on the chat. Not all of it was worth reading. It's worth reading, but it's it's not worth reading out loud.
Roasting you. We're not trying to roast you.
Yeah.
I feel like we were roasting ourselves.
Yeah, I was roasting myself more than you. Jeez, don't worry about it. Xenoots says, Jesus Christ, Ian, it's a fucking hypothetical question. You're not defusing a bomb. So.
A draw bomb.
A draw bomb.
Huh?
Yeah. I'm done. This drawing sucks. This one I did. Your drawing's great.
What? It's so good.
See, now it makes me sound. Now it sounds like you don't like it.
I don't feel anything about it.
What do you? What do you think about it now, Brandon? Tell me.
You want my critique?
Yeah, tell me what you think of my drawing. You don't have to like critique it or go into. Just tell me if you like it or not. Or you don't have to. I actually would hate to be put on the spot. I'm so sorry I just did that to you. I would hate.
No,
to
I don't. I mean, if anything, you're the one being put on the spot. I could talk shit about your drawing.
Go for it. Talk shit about my drawing.
Twitch.
Do it. Roast me. Roast me.
I like the feet. That's hard to get that angle sometimes.
I've been practicing feet a lot.
Some good feet shapes.
This foot's actually still kind of fucked up. It's
So now you're critiquing my critique? Go to hell.
No, I'm critiquing
go
my drawing.
Straight to hell.
I'm building on your critique. Okay, sir, madam.
So the legs stop.
Yeah, that's where I stopped trying. Was figuring out that area.
Spine issues because the crack is on the underside of his legs.
Here, hold on, I got this. Don't worry about it. One sec. Got that cake.
There we go. Now we're talking. Yeah, that was great. That looks great. Oh man, that's what we're all looking forward to when we get old.
Trying to get that cake.
Your body turns into a liquid, spills across the floor when you sit down.
Just.
Sorry if it seemed. I'm thinking about this now. Sorry if it seemed like we were roasting you. I was not.
Yeah, I think she's joking.
Yeah, I know, but
it's hard to tell over text. You can't. I have to type.
I'm sensitive about my past pets, and I don't want to make it like a. I think you know where we come from, but I don't want to make it seem like we're joking about that.
How have all your past pets died? No, I'm kidding. You don't have to. Don't do that. Don't answer it. Stop.
You want to see me cry on air? Is that what you want?
No, for the love of God. No. I don't want. We'll make it
for
cry.
The 100th episode.
Say your 100th episode. Cry for episode hundo. No, I thought of my idea for what we should do for the 100th episode.
Ooh, yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay, we'll.
I think it'd be nice to, if you're not doing a bit, it'd be nice to hype up whatever we're planning on doing a little bit.
I'm being legit right now. I'm being serious as Sam.
That's really serious.
It's pretty fucking serious. So, what we do is we do this call we're having right here on the DrawBomb voice chat thing, and then we just we put out an invite and say anyone who's got access to this, which are just previous guests, you can join in.
They can pop in. We could also do one of those big canvas. I forget what the website is, but where everybody.
Oh, Aggie.io.
That'd be fun, maybe. I mean, assuming that
actually,
we could also lock it to people who have been on the show or friends of the show.
It's a pretty good idea. Yeah, I don't think we should let it open it.
Popping in, drawing,
some
things.
Unsavoriness.
Yeah, we want sweet, not savory.
Yeah.
Unsavory.
So, I think
that's a possibility. I'm also trying to think about some kind of giveaway or something. Although, probably can't do it on the air next week because who knows how many people will tune in. I'd rather do something gives a week or two for people to attempt to win. I don't know what that giveaway would be yet, but I'm thinking about it actively. And talking about the prior procrastination. This is a week from today, and I don't have any of that planned out. So,
right, maybe we'll just make next week a Jackbox week, or Gartic Phone,
or at least get some drawing games. Gartic Phone could be fun.
Gartic Phone could be fun. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. But on that note, tune in because boy, doesn't it sound like it's going to be a fun time.
It sounds like we are.
The
on
things
top
we have
of
planned are going to be out of this world.
Yes. Wow, good shit, man. I feel like this episode we are just
feeling sensitive about this episode.
No, I feel like we're really hyping up episode Hundo, and it's gonna be so good.
99 is bullshit compared to Hundo. Hundo's where it's at.
Yeah, honestly, I've checked that already, just because it's not even Hundo. It's just 99. Who cares?
Yeah, what I'm supposed to get excited about every episode? I only get excited about Hundo.
Can't give 100 8% every episode. Are you fucking kidding me? Jesus.
But you know when you can give a hundo?
Hmm.
A hundo.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that makes sense.
So look forward to that, folks. You're gonna see us on a level we've never been. Maybe like episode 1 might have had some excitement that was fizzled out. But
we were definitely, I think, a lot louder and more boisterous.
I think
it was more raw.
I think we know what we're doing a little bit more now.
I think so. I just did zoom-ins on our heads for reactions.
I turned and it scared me to see my face. So
I'm sorry.
I should probably not have the window up. It distracts me. No, you don't need to apologize. I like the
cinematic nature of it.
Exactly. Yeah, I like the you're putting in some value.
Some value, some production value.
That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
But words hard.
Words hard. Words are not easy. Okay, so I have something to talk about.
Let's hear it.
Here's the thing, like, okay, we also talk about so much when we're not on air, and as soon as we get on air, I just forget half the shit that we normally talk about, but might be just stuff that we talk to each other about that is just like, no one else would get this. I don't know. But the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie is out.
I've heard it's bad.
Have you heard it's bad? I've heard, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I'm not expecting it to be good. No, I just heard... I just heard somebody watch it, and then they just were like, I've just watched... I asked them if they would recommend it or not, and they didn't really come to an answer. So, I don't know how they feel about it, in all honesty. But,
you should watch it.
I'm down to watch it. It's on Netflix. Fuck yeah. It's easy as shit to watch something on Netflix as a group. But, the one thing that the guy said was that in this new Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Leatherface is the sympathetic character.
They tried that a little bit in the last one, which was
that's what the other guys like. It was like
Texas Chainsaw 3D. I think they. It
was in like a group combo, so yeah. But have you seen that one?
I did. It was revealed while we were watching the Resident Evil movies that it turned out I had seen many of them in theaters, and the reason being is because when I was a kid, we knew somebody who worked at the theater, and every slow season, they would give us basically unlimited free tickets for the week, which is cool, but there was nothing good to see, so we'd just go watch everything in the theater, and ended up just being a lot of trash movies that made it to theater.
So you saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D.
But that was one of them, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D, starring Alexandra Daddario.
Oh, Daddario?
Daddario, yeah.
Alexandra Daddario? I have a crush on her.
I have no opinions on her because...
A crush on her.
Yeah. And anyways,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
The movie reveals that... do you care if I spoil Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D? I know we have a lot of people in the chat that are probably planning on watching it soon.
No, go ahead. I'm still a little terrified of watching the more... Sorry, go ahead.
I think I've talked about this once before, but basically what happens is she realizes all her friends get murdered by him. And then in the moment where you think she's about to get murdered, I think it's revealed that she's related to him, and then she joins him to help murder after that. Even though she never met him before and he just killed all her friends, now she's like, oh, well, if we're related, then that means I'm on your side.
Right.
And then dumb.
There are so many
anybody's brain work that way?
There's so many characters in horror movies from that time period, like the 2000s to 2015, I want to say. Whereas people would be like, "Oh my gosh, this murderer character who's killing everyone I know and love. I want to join them." It was in Saw, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah. I feel like it was in Freddy Krueger.
Forgive and forget really well.
Not even forget, but team up.
No grudges. In fact, you align with them.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah,
But
it's a really unbelievable thing that happens in some stories, and it always takes me out of it because I'm like, I mean, not that I'm like planning on being immersed in the story of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D.
yeah,
It's a guy wearing skin on his face, like swinging stuff at the camera because it was during that niche time where movies were super gimmicky and everything was like really done in 3D, and everybody's like playing like paddleball at the camera for like 30 seconds for no reason except for that it would be like visually interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a time period that's, thank God, is mostly over.
No, it's not. It's just those are Marvel movies now.
Yeah, but they still fly at your face, but not. You don't have to pay for an extra $2 to wear stupid glasses for 3 hours.
Yeah. Now the gimmick is that it's a Marvel movie.
Yeah, basically.
And you're just
but,
like, yeah, all the lasers. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I always that ruins any story for me because I'm like, don't you want the people watching the movie to somewhat relate with the humanity of the main character? That's how you like relate to the story at all. And if you just make the character just do something that's 100% unbelievable and unrealistic, that any immersion's over.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, it's dumb. And it's like they just do it because it's like, what a twist. And it's hokey, and it's just, you could have done you could have played the story straight or just done any other twist. But like the thing is, somebody did the twist successfully in their movie, and then there was just like 10 other movies that were like, if we put that twist in our movie, then whoever hasn't seen those other movies will see our movie and will be like, whoa. But that's not how it works.
Nothing's been undone at this point, but subtlety is not everyone's strong suit.
Yeah. I think there are so many movies though, like by people who are like considered good directors, where they just effortlessly do a plot that isn't expected, and like they don't do it in a way where it feels hokey. Like I'm just thinking, like there's like, I was watching some movie, or I was watching some guy talk about movies, and he was like, you know, the bad guy dies randomly. And I'm like, I don't know, I've seen like some Quentin Tarantino movies or something like that where the bad guy died randomly. And like, but like if you do it well, it's like, what a great movie. And it's and like you don't have to make the bad guy die randomly to make it like a good movie, but it's just like that's something you can do. But there's like all these ways that you can make a movie unexpected, but you just have to like kind of take the paradigm and then be like, nope. And then like sort of
good enough writer, you can take some real bullshit concept and make it interesting to watch.
Yeah.
Or make it, good.
But like there's certain kinds of movies where it makes sense to work within the structure, and like to follow a formula. And those, like a lot of the movies that we like are movies that perfectly fit within a formula. Like there's a beginning, and there's like it follows all these rules. And there's like a happy ending, and like there's a final fight, and like the bad guy is this good guy does that.
Well, you make it sound like we like things that are predictable. That's not the case.
No, but what I'm saying is there are movies that still follow that sort of formula that we like perfectly fine. Yeah. And like what they do is they work within that structure and they just make a good production out of it. But there are also like, that's not going to be every movie. But like then there are those movies that we usually like more because they're so unexpected, where they do that sort of shift, but they take basically what they just do is they take that same structure and then they just kind of keep going like, nope. But the people who do it well, I think, do it just like in small ways. I don't know, like I just think I don't know,
they're more
like
subtle.
Yeah, like Wes Anderson's great at just like taking these characters that you think you're gonna like see throughout the rest of the movie, and then you just like kills someone. Oh, by the way, they did.
Yeah. There's a lot of directors that are like do dialogue heavy stuff, but then the characters do unexpected things, but still in like a way that is relatable to humanity.
Yeah. Like Quentin Tarantino, he has like monologues coming out the wazoo in his movies, but like he writes a damn good monologue, like
and they're entertaining.
That's not how people talk, like unless they're on a podcast, and even
people
then.
Right, like us, like we talk very like real. We talk good.
We talk good. Yeah, we talk pretty one day.
We do good talking, but yeah, no, you don't want realistic. You want relatable, but you don't want. Everybody should talk like you would. You know, if you had all the time in the world to plan out what you're gonna say before you said it.
Yeah.
That's how it should be, I think.
Like,
yeah, it's not realistic, but it's it's the way people think, I think.
I mean, you can have naturalistic dialogue, but that's just going to be a different type of movie.
For sure. Yeah.
Like, I think Bad Boys kind of had people talking over each other a lot in it, and I mean, when I was watching that, I hated it. But I also haven't seen Bad Boys in a while. When I'm saying I watched it and I hated it, I mean,
holds up.
I was like watching, like I hated them talking over each other because it kind of felt like they were like when I watched it, and again, it's been like over 10 years, 20 years since I saw that movie. But they would like talk over each other, but it felt like timed. So it felt like they were talking over each other in a way that was meant to be like naturalistic, but it still wasn't because it was like on a timer, you know? I don't know.
Is that Michael Bay?
One of them is, at least. Might be both of them. Not the third one. We should watch the newest Bad Boys movie for movie night sometime.
I have not seen that. I forgot it existed until you literally. I went silent when you said the third one because I was like, "Oh fuck, there's a third one."
I've heard that people like it. I've heard that people.
Really? Interesting.
Yeah, I've heard that people liked it. I don't know.
Will Smith is. I don't know. Everything he's done lately is kind of cringy to me.
I think Will Smith went a little.
He TikToks now. That's the main thing he does.
I couldn't watch his
Maybe
TikToks.
He's just resting on his laurels. You know, if I was that rich, I would probably say fuck it to being in anything anymore. But I don't know if that's what happened or. There's a Fresh Prince drama that exists now.
I saw that. Yeah, I saw the commercials for it during the Super Bowl.
Very
I want
weird
to say.
I want to see dark and gritty like Seinfeld.
How is that dark and gritty? Like,
yeah, I guess.
I guess okay. Wait. There's an episode of Seinfeld where they are held at gunpoint in the car by Nazis in season 4, I want to say. That actually happens in Seinfeld, and also Seinfeld is Jewish. So is Kramer. Kramer's the only one on the cast who's not Jewish. Like, Elaine is Jewish. But, like, they're being held at gunpoint by Nazis in season 4.
Opening, a very, like, dimly, like, lit, dramatic lighting, shitty comedy club with Jerry on stage, and, like, the cameras look real close. He's, like, sweaty and, like, I don't know. Maybe it's...
Have you seen the movie Inside Llewyn Davis?
Yes, but it's been a long time. I should watch it again because
it's a great movie.
About it a number of times on the show.
Yes,
you were
we
a
have.
big fan.
I
liked it when I saw it, but I haven't seen it since I first saw it.
I saw it during pandemic. We actually planned a movie night to see Inside Llewyn Davis with like a bunch of folks, and then everyone bailed but 2 of us. So me and that guy just watched Inside Llewyn Davis, and I really liked it. And I've seen it very recently, so I can bring it up more often.
I should watch it again. I should watch some more good movies. I've been in such
I should too. I watch so much
bad stuff. It's like, do I hate movies now?
The thing is, like, good movies, like really good movies, like are emotionally taxing.
You need to be in the right headspace to watch like a piece of art.
The whole world is so emotionally taxing. Like, I watched this video. So there's this old video. It's called like acapella dubstep, and it's like 3 young kids like in middle school and like high school going like doing a shitty dubstep joke like with their mouths, but it's very funny because it's a funny video. Are you looking it up right now? Is that what you're doing?
No.
Okay. I see your smile. I see your eyebrows. Your eyebrows are doing a thing.
I'm not looking it up. I'm listening to you, but you drew something here. It's this like Voldemort backwards. Voldemort's son, Voldemort.
Was
So
just.
I googled imaged a picture of Voldemort. That's what I was doing while we're talking.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know. It's just he looks silly.
Your eyebrows did. Your eyebrows did like a.
It's just that's what my face would do if I was just looking at pictures of Voldemort, regardless of whether I'm on the air or not.
Okay.
He looks so silly.
But anyways, it's this these kids doing like this video. It's called Acapella Dubstep. I remember watching it in high school and thinking it was very funny, and somebody did send me a link to a video of somebody basically making acapella dubstep, and it reminded me of that video. So I went and I watched it, and I was like, "Huh, is this person still making videos?" And I checked, and they are. Like,
We're still making acapella dubstep.
well, they're making comedy videos, and I watched the one, and it's like super true. I thought it was a great video. I want more people to be aware of it. It's only got like a couple hundred views or something like that. But it's this guy. He's like talking to himself, but the person who's himself is like dressed up differently, I think. So they're supposed to be somebody else. But he's just like, oh man, I've been feeling like such crap lately. And he's like, oh really? Me too, man. I'm so sorry to hear that. Why you been feeling like crap? And he's just like, I don't know, like the world and stuff. Oh, hi. Hey, by the way, have you checked out the newest episode of like this show where, you know, the main guy, he like has to like murder his whole family because some terrorists are like gonna blow up like the building or whatever? And he's like, oh yeah man, that was crazy. I just feel so awful. Hey, have you watched like Murder Building, where it's like a bunch of office workers are just like killing each other in an office building? No, that's crazy. Oh man, I just feel like shit. Like it's just like that. That's the bit for like 2 minutes, but it's very well done. But like it's true. It's like, and Austin, who is a friend of the show, guest of the show, he's actually on about this for a while, where like a lot of TV shows are just like, hey, here's like trauma.
Yeah.
There you go. That's our show. And that's like great television, good stuff. But it's like, I don't know, like after a while, it's just, and I don't know if I can like deal with it all the time. Like that's why I watch comedy so much, is because it's just like, oh, I'm not watching people get like murdered, and like I don't get introduced to a character, get taught to love them, and then watch them die horribly and like choking on their own blood.
The show is, I'm not gonna talk about my opinions of the show really, because I don't know, it sounds like Degrassi on HBO, but that Euphoria show, me and Morgan watch it, and we just finished, I think the season 2 or whatever, but it's just like such a like depressing show.
Yeah,
it's like just straight up like the acting's really good, and I think that and the cinematography is pretty good, but it's just like such a bummer. It's like it's basically like a high school drama, but not really. It's like I mean it is, but the problems they face are nothing like real. It's like, I don't know, everybody in the school is just, they're like doing the hardest drugs. There's like people getting killed, like crazy shit going on. And it's not realistic. It's funny though, because I've read a lot of articles that are like, either that it's, the two things that have, the bad takes that I've seen is people that say like, this show is making all these horrible things look like, you know, like making them look like fun or like that, you know, but it's not the case at all. Like everybody's life is fucking miserable on this show. And then also the other take that I see is like, I've heard like a few adults be like, boy, it's just scary seeing like that's what kids' lives are like these days. It's like no one's life is like this. Maybe, you know, maybe if you compiled all the people having the worst time in their life from the whole world and they all went to high school together, maybe that's realistic. But
yeah,
I'm not gonna say there's no kid in the world that's having like drug problems this bad, or
some people are dealing with some shit. Like, don't get us wrong.
No, I know people do, but it's like everyone in the school is like the most fucked up people you've ever like dealing with the heaviest shit in the world.
Every kid in those like schools get like a flavor of the week, like trauma. It's like, hey, this person's this week it's drug trauma. This week it's gun trauma. Next week it's divorce trauma. This week it's cheating, and like this week it's miscarriage trauma, and it's just like it's
dealing with shit. I'm not trying to like downplay that, but the show is like every kid in the school is dressed like they're like a 30-year-old person going to the club. They're all like strappy, like They are 30, yes, the actors. They're all, and then and then the shit that goes down is just like that. No, that's these kids. They got crazy shit going on. Anyways, it's entertaining, but it's just like very over the top, and it's very depressing. It's like every episode we just ends and we're like, fuck.
So do you like it?
I do. Feels like guilty pleasure. I don't know. Feels like
it's
a guilty pleasure.
Well, it's like if you ever talk to anybody who's seen the British version of Skins, I can't speak about the American version. Yeah, I think it's kind
of that same vibe.
I haven't seen either show, but like the American version of Skins or the British version or Euphoria. But like anyone you talk to who's like seen the British version of Skins, they're just like, oh my god, it's miserable. Great show.
That's how Euphoria is. I think it's. I thought I've never seen Skins, but I'm aware of it, and I assumed that it was kind of the same.
Okay.
Same vibes.
It's like sorry, go ahead.
Weird watching it as a 30-year-old man, it's like high school drama, but I don't know. It's really creatively done, I think is what I like about it. Like they do all these weird like things where it's like it doesn't just. I'm trying to think of it. They're very creative about the way they shoot scenes, and they do things where like it breaks the fourth wall, or like there's weird little like I don't know. It feels artistic in some ways that I appreciate. It makes it fun to visually interesting to watch.
Well, I appreciate that they're like doing stuff. Like I would hope they would do anything more than just like. I mean, you don't have to, I guess, but bringing something extra to the table is always good. I mean, I'm never gonna be mad about that.
Yeah. But it also still feels like, I don't know, I feel like, I think about like Red Letter Media where Mike always calls Jay a pervert for like the stuff he likes. It's like very like...
Jay does like pervert stuff though, I mean. He likes like Eli Roth movies and things like that.
But yeah, it's very like, the sex and stuff is like gratuitous. Like more than it needs to be. But...
Wait, hold on, so I'm gonna watch this show now.
Okay.
But no. Yeah, that sounds depressing. It kind of sounds like
it's very depressing.
Like I watched Empire for a little bit, and when I say a little bit, I mean like 5 episodes, if even, because a bunch of my friends were like getting into Empire, and I was like, okay, let me try this out, and like it wasn't my show, but it was like one of those shows where like every episode, like clockwork, at the beginning 10 to 30 minutes, because it's like an hour-long episode show, like somebody would just have beef with somebody else because, and it was like, it always felt like so extreme and like over the top. Like somebody would like say, man, this guy sucks and like his singing's not good, and I want to be the best singer in this record empire, and then like somebody would threaten somebody with a gun. Like it would just constantly up in the ante, and like people were cheating left and right, and like people were dying, and there was like it was like
that. It's just, these are soap operas is what
it was
they
a
are.
Soap opera, exactly.
And Euphoria is one too, so it feels like a guilty pleasure maybe. I don't think I should like it, but it's entertaining.
It's just like take like the formula of a soap opera, but make the camera work good instead of like that 60 FPS looking stuff.
Why do they do that? Is it cheaper? Why is it's
I think it's cheaper. I think it's cheap.
It feels broken to look at. It's like something's not right. You guys messed something up.
I was like a kid.
Video file.
I was a kid and I knew it looked wrong. But I didn't know why it looked
rub
wrong.
Vaseline on the camera before they filmed or something. What's going on?
Yeah.
It's weird.
What's happening? I'm a kid.
Yeah, even as a kid, I'm like, this looks shitty.
Yeah, I asked my mom. I remember the one time. I don't know why I remember this experience as a child, but I was just like, Mom, why does this, like, I was like, what is this, Mom? She's like, it's a soap opera, and I'm like, I don't like the way this looks. Why does this look the way it does? And she was just like, it's the camera, and I was like, that helps me not at all. But okay.
My mom would have been like, I don't know.
Yeah, that would have been more, because like then I was just like, oh, I guess it's the camera. And I never understood it. It's the frames per second, everybody. It's
I drew like, Papa Voldemort.
You did draw Papa. Why is? I flipped my thing around, didn't I? I should have noticed.
Oh, you didn't realize you did that. I was wondering why you drew his words backwards. I thought you were thinking like, well, you're not supposed to say his name, so I'm being clever.
It's Tom Riddle. It's like the Chamber of Secrets when he's like got the anagram for it. No, so when I'm using this program, I use B and I use E to use my brush and my eraser. But
and occasionally you bump that button that flips everything,
which is right there. So I'm gonna actually change. Can I change the fucking keybinds? Because I'm tired of doing that, man. I don't think I can. Oh wait, maybe. Maybe. Yep, I can. Great. Let's fucking change these. And then that was flip. And then okay, I'm just guess that's flip is good, and then mirror. Mirror is the other one that's been a problem. Okay. That's so weird that they would call it just mirror and flip, so I have to look it up because it's two separate words. Mirror. Change
mirror
on the wall. Okay.
Why you do that thing you do?
Why you do these? So anyways, that's just gonna be backwards because
Alright. I was just now explains a lot. I was like, artistic choices. We're artists. You probably did it on purpose.
You know, it means that your drawings work when horizontally flipped, because I didn't think that there was anything wrong with them.
That's great news.
People often say
do that test too, and I just refuse to do the test because I don't.
I have not done the test ever.
How much I fucked up.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, by the time I do the test, I'm not gonna change my drawing. I already drew all this.
Well, hopefully you do it earlier. And also, I'm like,
yeah,
I already, hate my stuff enough on my own. I don't need help with that.
Yeah. It's just
I don't hate my stuff. I mean, I'm critical, which I think is a good thing.
I'm not a fan of my stuff. So my stuff bothers me.
What?
I'm
gonna bite you.
Oh dear. I don't know. There's some things about my stuff where I want to try and hone it in certain directions, but I'm also.
Oh well, for sure. Like it's always good to get better. But
yeah.
But I think your stuff is great.
Well, thank you. Brandon, I have a huge question to ask you.
How big is this question?
Pretty big.
It's huge.
Yeah. The question is, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
I knew that was going to be it. I'm trying to think. Yes, I do.
You do?
I do. So, gosh, there's this show.
This is my favorite running bit that we do. We don't do any running bits but this, and honestly, it's my
Wonderful
favorite thing.
show. The people who make it, great guys. I know them personally.
Yeah. I hear the one's a real douchebag though. His name's like,
Yeah, that guy sucks. But the other guy, I know him better than I'd like to know him. But he's alright. Anyways, they do the show on Twitch on Mondays, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. It's a fantastic show. They're just about to hit their 100th episode, which no one's going to want to miss because we got some things not in the works at all. But
good for them.
I love it. Yeah, and
wait, who's we? Why are we doing stuff for these guys?
I just try to support the arts.
Oh, that's fair. That's appreciative. I appreciate you. What's the name?
It's called Drawfee. It starts Mondays at 7 o'clock.
They don't need any help. They have college humor money.
Yeah, they do have that college humor money. I don't think it exists anymore, but got them going.
It does actually. Like they still exist. Sort of, yeah. I think it's like New People or something like that.
All right. Well, anyways, watch DrawBomb.
Please tell your friends.
We'd love to have you. People who watch the show, we have fun with you.
I'm gonna put money down for promo this week because of our 100th episode.
I'll chip in on that.
Alrighty. Put it on Insta, I guess. Or we don't have a DrawBomb Instagram account, do we?
We don't. We can create one.
I'll think about it. Yeah, if I wanna.
I'll start actually posting things after the episode. I just wanted to make sure that like the show's actually gonna stick. It was gonna be something we were gonna keep doing. So now that we hit 100, I actually feel like we're here to stay.
Yeah. We should like just set a timer on ourselves to like do a social media. Like I'll do the Insta, you do the Twitter.
Yeah.
Or there's like probably some kind of app we can download that's just like, hey.
It does it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's probably one. Yeah.
Definitely exists. We'll get on that.
Yeah.
I just made some promo art over here on the left that I can use. On the social media.
That's true, dude. Screen cap that and that alone.
Going to. That was why I did it.
Oh, was that your plan the whole time?
Well, when I started drawing them, no. But then when I added the confetti and the balloons, yes, that was the plan.
Okay. I'm glad I gave you that space then, like next to it. I gave you that wide berth.
Thanks for giving me my space, bro.
Yeah, so here's the thing. You can divide this screen in half, and there's like your drawing, and then there's like where I drew Voldemort's son Voldemort, and like the turkey, and then you drew Voldemort in my space, you encroacher.
I invade in your space, you know.
How dare you?
Well, it's not my fault. Voldemort's evil. He doesn't care about space.
I respected your side.
That was your first mistake.
Okay. Well, 100 episodes coming up. Do you have anything else to plug aside from some DrawBomb?
What do you got to plug? My friend, my dear friend.
Got another sort of music video thing coming out soonish. I gotta finish it. That's it. And DrawBomb.
Follow our Discord.
Follow our Discord. Thank you.
It'd be fun to get that going in the in the first 1,000 episodes if possible.
Follow the DrawBomb Twitter. Follow the DrawBomb Instagram once it exists.
Yeah. We locked down that page before. Yeah. Somebody probably snapped it up because they knew we were gonna come knocking. And they're like trying to make.
Maybe it's those bastards over at Drawslaw.
This is where we're starting all these beefs. That's the only way to get popular on the internet. You have to have beefs.
We gotta start beefs with all the other draw shows. How do we hook up with the other draw shows? I feel like we should all we shouldn't be beefs. We should be we shouldn't be beefs.
We should be casserole, where you mix all the. I don't know.
We should be the hamburger helper. We should be the glove.
There we go.
Mixes the hamburger.
We're all fingers on the glove.
I want to be the fingers in that glove, baby.
Yeah, is that glove voiced by Chris Parnell in the commercial?
I think you're right. Yeah, sounds about right.
Boy, that's when you know you've made it. When you're the voice of the glove.
He's the voice of like that tax paper box.
He does a lot of just weird, bland characters.
Little
Jerry.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he does like a lot of anthropomorphized objects that the 3-dimensional equivalent of Tally from South Park, for commercials.
Have you seen the commercial for? There's this medical thing that's supposed to track colon cancer early, and it's a box that you take a poop in, you mail it to the place, and the idea behind it is fantastic, and that's great if we can find this way to get colon cancer, which is a big thing, early. But there's an anthropomorphized box talking to the guy, and I'm like, that's the thing you shit in. Why is it friends with it? There's a guy at the beach, and he looks over, and this box is
Did you watch this before? Because the newest Red Letter Media video that just came out today talked about that box.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
No, I have not seen the new video.
Oh, you shitting me? Whoa. But yeah, they talk about it. They show the poop in the box from that video.
That's funny. You don't need to anthropomorph. You'd have to make a character out of everything.
Does Chris Parnell voice that box?
Shit into it. I don't think so. No.
Ah, that's a shame. That's a shame.
But you don't need to animate the box that you shit in its head.
No. Don't give that thing. Don't.
I don't want that. I don't want to feel.
I don't.
I don't want.
Don't give that poor thing sentience. Are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
I don't want to relate to that guy. I feel bad now. I can't poop in his head unless he likes it.
Hi,
That's the
we've
only way to
designed.
make it okay. Is that if his character in the commercials is like, by the way, I'm a kinky bastard. Anyways,
Hi.
shit in my head. I love it.
We've designed this creature. We've designed this box so that you can poop in its head. And we've designed it so that the worse it has taste senses. It tastes the poop, and the worse your poop tastes, the worse your poop is. So this creature will send it to you only if tests have proven that something is wrong with your bowel movements. Here he is. His name is Jerry, and he eats your poops. And if it tastes bad, it's a bad result. Hi, I'm Jerry. Please kill me.
Please poop in me. I like it. I don't know. So yeah, that's. Oh my God, we've done 100 of these.
This is what we do. This is the show.
All right, I can live with that.
Okay. DrawBomb is recorded live from the studio audience.
Fading out now.
No,
We
not
fading?
yet. Should we fade?
Oh, okay.
Let's
I think it's time to fade.
Okay, we didn't
Thanks
say
for watching,
bye.
everyone.
Okay.
Zenoots, Bellbell Rocket, Leviathan Den. Thanks for watching.
I feel like somebody else was there. Weren't they? No? Okay.
No, you're too optimistic. You thought more than 3 people were watching. Ha!
Episode 100 is going to be different.
We're going to have 2.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We appreciate it. You're great.
Bye!
Bye.